The image is so creamy and the contrast is soft, almost as if it was shot on expensive and vintage Hollywood glass. But it was shot on 700D using Helios lens. Here is how. If you like this video, you know what you can do. Like and sub or whatever. Biggest Hollywood secret for some time has been diffusion filters, and those are especially popular for digital cameras. Once you know how it looks, you will see it everywhere. It helps in reducing digital sharpness, adds more creaminess and a bit of mist or haze, and it softens highlights and flares. If you want to achieve this look, then you would probably add some flare or mist filter, like Black Pro Mist, etc, etc. The biggest selling point of this type of filter is blurriness and glowiness. On one side, it provides a bit more of vintage look, and some people like that. But mostly it's useful because you can reduce digital sharpness and it looks more pleasing to the eye. Using this filter on a human subject, you can reduce wrinkles and make them look a bit younger. You can also get a bit of glow around the highlights, and instead of having harsh light source, it smooths out over the frame and it looks subjectively better. Another cool feature is that you can reduce the contrast of the picture. Sometimes you want to remove a bit of contrast, especially on cheap digital cameras. How does it work? When you focus past a subject, it becomes blurry, but the light coming from that subject still does hit the sensor. If you uniformly spread something before the focusing point of the lens, it should blur out all over the frame. So, how do you make one? If you want to make it convenient, then buy a really cheap and transparent UV filter. There are tons of them online. Then I bought black paint and lightly coated inside of the filter. Lightly spray it on the filter and test it out. If you need harsher effects, spray more. And if you did too much, you can clean it using the nail polisher. Technically, you can make as big of a filter as you want, and it's still cheap. One of the negatives is that it's really hard to regulate the size of the particles. That's why I can't use this filter on smaller apertures, because particles becomes visible and you get a dirty look instead of a dreamy look. I've also seen people using hairspray, and I think it could also work, but I haven't tried it out. I also don't know what happens if you use red or blue paint. It might color the frame of the image, but I haven't tested it out because I don't want any extra color on my image. It could be worth experimenting. Good luck! And then you edit as normally. I used Magic Lantern on my 700D because I want as much information as possible. If you want to see how the image comes out straight from the camera without any grading, then follow the link in the description. There's the video. Subscribe for similar content or comment on any suggestion. Sumpai jumpai. Sumpai jumpa.